It's day 25 of the Oregon standoff, where an armed militia has been occupying the Malhaur Wildlife Refuge near Burns, Oregon. As local and state authorities fail to put an end to the demonstration, locals are asking the federal government to step in. RT's Brigida Santos has the very latest for us.
Hi there, Lindsay. So we are 25 days into a standoff that many say is a battle over the Constitution. The leader is Nevada rancher Bundy. He and his militia have been occupying the Malhaur Wildlife Refuge near Burns for nearly a month now. Bundy and his group say Dwight Hammond Jr. and his son Stephen were wrongfully jailed. They are to serve a second sentence over two controlled fires they started on their land in 2001 and 2006. These fires burned public land, which resulted initially in shorter jail sentences for each. Hammond has made it his mission to now exonerate the Hammonds and force the government to give the surrounding federal lands to local ranchers. With no end in sight, the public has urged the FBI to step in and end the occupation once and for all. This includes the Paiute tribe, which has asked the Department of Justice to stop the armed militia from moving on and off the refuge. Even Governor Kate Brown has gone up the chain of command. She's asked President Obama to take action. Under pressure, Bundy met with the FBI on Friday, but hopes of a solution came crashing down when he walked out. So Bundy's militia continues to stand firm.
The Constitution has been violated to the point where the ranchers don't have rights according to the federal government, that they're just renters or they're just leasers and they don't have any rights. And so that's why we go back to the Constitution, and we basically have to lay it out that the people did not give the federal government authority to come down into the states and to control the land and the resources.
Bundy's group will now get some face time outside of Harney County. They will meet Tuesday night tonight with the sheriff of Grant County, who has spoken against the federal government in the past. This will be the first time since the standoff began 25 days ago for any meeting or discussion to happen outside of Harney County. Will any progress be made? That still remains to be seen.
Absolutely, and like you've pointed out, local residents aren't the only ones with massive grievances in this ongoing dispute. More than 150,000 acres, in fact, of that wildlife refuge has been made inaccessible to Fish and Wildlife officials just as spring begins in the Northwest. So on top of that, a local archaeological site, very important to local Indian tribes, has also been compromised. Joining me earlier to discuss this was Jason Holm from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Take a listen to what he's got to say on this.
Well, I think one of the things we're doing is we do stand on the shoulders of the people that we work with and we've worked with for 100 years out there. We have an immensely close relationship with the Burns Paiute tribe, and we work closely with them on cultural resources protection on the refuge, and we share in their outrage, and really this is a site of immense cultural interest, and driving or digging, in some cases even walking or letting cattle walk across places. There might be old villages, burial sites, reburials, inches under the ground too. So one of the biggest things we're doing is working really closely with the partners who have been involved in collaborative processes with us throughout the past decades to ensure that when we have the opportunity to get our folks back to work, we'll assess what we have there. We'll make any changes or any repairs that we need to make, and we'll move forward as we've always done as a team, as a collaborative group.
Well, you're being blocked access from this very important wildlife refuge. What are the biggest tasks you're missing out on by being blocked from it?
There's several. We're talking about a place that's 180,000 acres. It's immensely vital to the economy of Harney County. So in April, we have a bird festival that is coming up that will bring birders and wildlife observers from around the world to come in. Something like that pumps a lot of money into the local economy. Obviously, we're not doing any planning, or we're not doing planning for that. Right now, we're doing planning on what to do if we can't do it. There's irrigation issues. This is a place where we irrigate artificially with runoff off the Steens Mountains, and this has been a heavy snowpack year in the Steens, and we manage water control structures and dams that actually protect county roads, a local campground, some places in the area that are vital. There's invasive species maintenance. Again, as the water levels go up, we have an invasive carp species that's really a plague. And not being able to be there to control where the carp go could be devastating to downstream locations. So it's a variety of things. People think it might be slow in the winter season, but the winter season is actually where we do deep preparation for the upcoming field season. So every day there's something vital that's not being done.
Well, as you mentioned, the weather's going to warm up. More actions need to be taken on this land. You also mentioned a campground. At what point was this going just too far? Not just for locals, but also for you as sort of a steward of the wildlife in that area. When did you realize that this was going to be for the long haul and it's really going to affect your job?
Well, honestly, I think this became too far to me personally and to our employees when our agency employees, as stewards of conservation, of American conservation, started to be attacked in the weeks leading up on social media. Their families started to be followed or intimidated around the Burns community. And this isn't a we versus they situation in Harney County. Our staff members have been a part of this community for over 100 years, and many of them are lifelong residents. So right now this county is missing church leaders or volunteer basketball coach or 4-H leaders, vital members of the community. So it isn't just our employees and their families being impacted. It's an entire community that has worked really closely with us for years. So I think the outrage of Harney County that they've expressed very well, as much as us saying enough's enough, happened very, very early in this process.
Yeah, and we've heard from locals speaking to media all over the nation about they're downright frightened. How do you fight back on something like this?
Well, Harney County is a unique place, and I would say that the occupiers picked the wrong location when they picked Harney County. These are people, the life of a rancher from early in the morning till late at night is pretty tough, and these are tougher people than this situation. And we have relationships that we truly believe are going to be strengthened throughout this. And when we get a chance to get back there and get our folks back integrated into the community and back to work, we are really, really confident that we will move forward in a really productive manner. At the end of this all, my heart goes out to Harney County, but I'm not worried about Harney County. They're tougher than this.
Jason Holm, Assistant Director of External Affairs for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Thank you very much.
Thank you.